The 2026 World Cup spans an entire continent, hosting 48 nations for the first time. But before the opening whistle, two men reached a historical milestone simply by walking onto the pitch. At 38 years old, Lionel Messi is entering his final tournament in the blue and white of Argentina. Cristiano Ronaldo is matching that milestone for Portugal at 41, representing the absolute ceiling of longevity in modern sport. No other male players in history have reached a sixth World Cup roster. This 2026 appearance is a statistical outlier, marking the definitive conclusion of their international careers. Despite dominating the sport for 2 decades, their paths have never crossed on this specific stage. Through 5 previous World Cups, they have never faced each other in a knockout match. This bracket maps the 2026 knockout paths. If Argentina wins Group J and Portugal takes Group K, the tournament structure locks them into a quarter-final meeting. However, these failure points are numerous. The expanded 48-team format adds an extra knockout round, meaning a single upset in the round of 32 would collapse the entire collision course. This potential meeting is the direct result of a structural evolution in how both nations now operate on the pitch. Messi has maintained a dominant individual start to the tournament, currently leading the Golden Boot race with 6 goals in his first 3 matches. Ronaldo became the first person to score in 6 different cups, though he is navigating a quieter stretch, including a scoreless performance against DR Congo. For 15 years, both players performed the carry job, a tactical necessity where their nations relied on a single star to produce nearly all offense. France still utilizes this model, relying on Kylian Mbappe's individual positioning to create scoring opportunities. England displays a similar reliance, centering their winning results on the output of Harry Kane. While other top-tier nations still lean on single talismans, Argentina and Portugal have moved towards systems designed to function without them. This chart shows Portugal's recent win rates. With Ronaldo, they win 67% of their matches. Without him, that number only drops to 63%. This 4% difference indicates a self-sufficient unit. Portugal no longer requires a savior to manufacture a result. Argentina's scoring distribution tells a similar story. Goals are divided evenly among Rodrigo de Paul, Julian Alvarez, and Lautaro Martinez. These secondary scorers act as a protective layer, maintaining the team's threat even when Messi requires rest. The data reflects a shift toward a collective unit. Instead of 10 men waiting for magic, the entire 11 works to control the pitch. The Portuguese squad has undergone the same transition, fielding a midfield and defense capable of dictating play regardless of who starts up front. The data tracks a shift in tactical responsibility. Nations that once required individual brilliance to survive are now engineered to support their legends. This decentralization is what makes the quarterfinal meeting possible. Both teams can now survive the earlier rounds without their stars playing every minute. For decades, these two players have carried the weight of national identity, with every tournament appearance scrutinized by millions. A moment of wonder. This quarterfinal node commands the attention of the global audience, representing the final intersection of 2 historic careers. A quarterfinal clash would serve as the final test for these 2 systems. It marks the permanent end of a rivalry defined by isolated dominance, moving instead toward a battle of 2 self-sufficient collectives. This creates a paradox. To share this final stage, the 2 most successful individuals in the history of the game had to become secondary to their teams. That transition honors the nature of the sport. As this gold trophy remains the ultimate goal, individual output has taken a back seat to team chemistry. Whether they actually meet on the pitch or the bracket is broken by an underdog, the 2026 World Cup has provided a logical conclusion to their story. At the end of a legendary career, immortality is found in the transition from a solitary engine to a vital component of a much larger machine.